be seeing a special advanced screening of this movie that's going to be launched later this month. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dennis Prager.
Wonderful to be here. It's always intimidating. Standing ovation before you speak. I always feel I can only disappoint the audience after that. I appreciated Gil as the best introducer of speakers that I have heard. And I got to tell you, I told Gary Bauer that was a great speech. We had rehearsed what to do because he said, you've got to teach your children what America stands for. Don't take it for granted what we have here. Well, that perfectly gets into what I'm saying. Just a quick word about the movie. No safe spaces. The movie is a great movie. You will see it. You will judge. I am not afraid of raising your expectations too high, but it is not great because I'm in it. I'm in it, and I'm lucky to be in a great movie. I just want you to understand. Please see it when it comes out in your area. The more people who see this, the more they will be aware of something. Never in American history has the concept of free speech been under attack as it is today. That was the one thing everybody agreed with in American history. I will fight for your right to say whatever you think, even if I differ with you. That is ending in the United States of America.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you.
You are not listening. I want your job to be taken from you.
A protest has turned violent in California, Berkeley.
This is why we're fighting for the soul of America.
You should be able to share ideas without fear of being fired from your job or shouted down.
You are not to be heard. This is one of the few things one could say we have no precedent for in the United States.
You have the right to remain silent.
The only way we separate the good ideas from the bad ideas is to be free to say whatever we want about them.
Anything you say will be used against you.
There's no free speech for fascists.
Your posts on Facebook, Twitter, and social media will be saved to shame you.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars.
Anything you say that we don't like will be used to shut you up. You can't be funny.
It's creating an atmosphere of fear and repression, and it's gonna bust.
You cannot think differently.
It makes it difficult for you to learn from other people.
Isn't it spooky that we're having this discussion?
You can't challenge us.
Kids grew up dipped in Purell, playing soccer games where they never kept score.
There is no debate.
The type of diversity that they hate is diversity of thought.
We reserve the right to be offended by everything.
No university should ever create a safe space. You're not going to protect people, and so the best you can do is to make them strong.
It bothers me for the young people who are being deprived of anything that could open their minds.
You have the right to remain silent.
I'm going to set before you a series of propositions that will help clarify what we stand for and what the world is like and what America is like at this point. It will be a sort of outline of the most important things we can teach the next generation. I have realized my life's work has been a very odd thing what my life's work has been, but this is really what it's been. I have spent my life teaching Americans what America is about, teaching Christians what Christianity is about, which is interesting given that I'm Jewish, teaching Jews what Judaism is about. Christians, Jews, and Americans forgot what they stand for. That is the crisis in a nutshell. That is it. That is why the great words in Deuteronomy, you will teach them to your children when you lie down and when you walk by the way and when you sit and when you stand. That is it. If you don't teach them all the time, the next generation will not have anything. This was the problem. I began lecturing in my 20s, and I remember telling the greatest generation that was in the audience, I'd say, you're terrific at what you did, World War II, the Depression, it's phenomenal. And you decided to give my generation everything you didn't have, which you did. The problem is you didn't give us everything you did have. You didn't give us God and you didn't give us country. You gave us wealth, you gave us security, but you didn't give us the values that made you, not in order of importance, but number one, to understand this. Liberty is a value, not an instinct. It is learned, it is taught, it is believed in, but it is not a yearning. Humans yearn to be taken care of. They do not yearn for liberty. That is why the left wins all over the world. If people valued liberty, the left would always lose. Always. The left has never been for liberty. Never. They want to control you and everything that they can control. They win because they promise you benefits. That's it. What can you do for me? I'll never forget, at a George W. Bush open session with people, somebody got up and said, when he was running for president, Mr. Bush, Governor Bush, you're elected, what will you do for me? And he gave some answer, and I remember thinking, that's why I can't run for office. Because I know what I would say. I would say, nothing. I am not on the left. I will do nothing for you. I will do a great deal for America, but nothing for you. I believe in a liberal's idea. And by the way, liberal and left are not the same. Full speech, and I do, on the internet. Of course, at Prager on the difference between liberal and left. By the way, just in case you're curious, here's one quick one. Do you believe in all black dormitories on campus? If you do, you're a leftist. If you don't, you're a liberal. Liberals believe in integration, and leftists are racist. If you believe race is important, you're a racist. The Ku Klux Klan and the left believe in black dorms. Liberals and conservatives do not believe in black dorms. There are black graduation exercises at Harvard. It is a scandal. It's a moral scandal. The left loves it. This is what we have to understand, that liberty is a value. People want to be taken care of. That's it. By the way, I believe I have wisdom. I'm old enough to now say this without being laughed at. I really do believe I have, but I got it from the Bible. I know where I got it from, because I studied it in Hebrew until I was 21 every day, half the day. And I have a commentary on it which explains it to modern people. It's the best-selling commentary on the Bible in America. I am thrilled that it is, not just for me, overwhelmingly for America. It's called the Rational Bible. And I'll give you an example. The Israelites leave Egypt, right? Are they happy to be free? No. We want to go back to Egypt. We had meat there. We're tired of manna. Is that perfect or is that perfect? They preferred to be well-fed slaves than manna-eating free people. That is leftism. Leftism has its roots in human nature, but we know human nature isn't so good. Which brings me to the next point. We didn't teach generation. People are not basically good. That is one of the great left-right divides. I have it's up on YouTube, as so much of my life is. Eerie, but it is. When I was invited to Berkeley, I didn't want $600,000 in expenses for security. So I said, I'll tell you what, I won't even speak. I'll just debate left-wing students. So nobody disturbed them. It was a perfectly calm evening. But you can watch me in dialogue with the best left-wing students they could send. They were charming, and it was a wonderful evening. And at the end, because all I did was clarify where we differed. That's all I wanted to do, and it's clear. At the end, I said, do you believe people are basically good? And of course, both of them said yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the left. Because as soon as you have wisdom, you leave the left. Unfortunately, it's not laughable. It is not possible that you can be kind and sweet and good and all those things on the left, but you cannot be wise on the left. It is the antithesis of wisdom. That is why children are on the left. That is exactly why. Because they don't have wisdom. That is why the Democrats want to give the vote in California to 16-year-olds. Democrats in California have the wisdom of a 16-year-old. They do not see reason why they shouldn't vote, and they should. I'm not wiser than you. You're 16, I'm 53. I'm not wiser than you. I'm on the left. That is the way they think. I know I'm wiser than a 16-year-old. There's no competition. Here's the beauty. I knew at 16 I wasn't wise. That's the difference. I was raised in a religious world, which told me you have a lot to learn, kid. Do you believe people are basically good? They said yes. I said, well, I'll tell you why you do. I let them speak. I'll tell you why you believe something that is so preposterous. And it is preposterous. After Auschwitz and Gulag, after slavery, after the staggering amount of rape and torture in human history, to think people are basically good, you have to be an idiot. Better educated or the bigger the idiot. I believe that totally. And so, when they said, yeah, we believe people are basically good, I said, I'll tell you why you believe something so preposterous. Because you live in America, where most people are good. We have worked so hard to make a good civilization. I've been to 130 countries. It ain't so good. And I'll bet you, if you ask the average person in West Africa, are people basically good, they will say no. Because they see a lot of evil. Americans don't see a lot of evil, so they got really naive. And if they have a PhD, they got super naive. We have a trinity, just like Christianity has a trinity, America has a trinity. I call it the American Trinity. I didn't make it up. I made up the name, but I didn't make up the content. And they are found on every coin. E pluribus unum, liberty, in God we trust. That's the American Trinity. If you get rid of one, it is like getting rid of either the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit in Christianity. You're not left with basic Christian theology. You can call yourself what you like, but that's Christianity since the Council of Nicaea in the 300s. In America, this is it. E pluribus unum, in God we trust, liberty. The left loathes all three. Loathes. Understand that? That is why the shutting down of other voices wherever possible. If you say something they don't like, you're fired. If they say something you don't like, you are banned from a campus. If you say something they don't like, Google will put you on the restricted list. 100 of PragerU videos. We have 1 billion views a year. 5-minute videos up, given by 4 Pulitzer Prize winners, 3 prime ministers, professors from Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Stanford, etc. And 100 of them are on the restricted list, along with pornography and violence. If you have a filter against pornography and violence, you can't see 100 of our videos, including one that I happen to have given on the 10 Commandments. And in Senator Ted Cruz's Senate hearing, where I testified this summer, so did a head of Google. And in front of me, Senator Cruz, to his great credit, looked at the representative of Google and said, I'm just curious, why have you placed Mr. Prager's video on the 10 Commandments on your restricted list? Which he answered, because it mentions murder. You were right to laugh on that one. It was my turn to speak. I said, I just want you to know that Prager University will be re-releasing a new version called the 9 Commandments. We will remove thou shalt not murder, since it is clearly not for children. Is there anyone here who does not want a child to hear thou shalt not murder? Do you understand? They're not only leftists, they're stupid. On what grounds would you not want a child to hear thou shalt not murder? This is what we're back to. The greatest conduit of information in the history of humanity is banning things like we're producing. Not entirely, thank God, why we have 1 billion views. I fully acknowledge that fact. But 100 videos is a lot. That's not fully banned. Only libraries, schools, and if you have filters. That's what their defense is. We haven't fully banned regular videos. After all, it's only schools, libraries, and people who have filters. You look foolish, not we. American Trinity is liberty, in God we trust, e pluribus unum. The left loathes liberty. Shut down what you don't agree with. Stifle and smear. Next, e pluribus unum, from many one. No, they don't believe in the melting pot idea of America. From many one, no. From many, many. That's their motto. You are a hyphenated American. You are not an American. You are a hyphenated American. This is new. Of course we believe in immigration because we believe that the immigrants become Americans. That is the beauty of America. I wrote a piece on the internet. I write a column each week, and I wrote a column about how when I was in my 20s, I joined the Rotary Club in Simi Valley, California, where I moved from New York in my 20s. I was the only Jew in the Simi Valley Rotary Club in the late 70s. And what I write is, and it really was a powerful statement. This is what was important. It didn't mean a thing. That's what was so powerful. I taught Jewish history at Brooklyn College. I've written 2 books on Judaism, including a book on anti-Semitism. I know Jewish history. Nowhere but America could you ever say about a Jew, it doesn't matter. Indian doesn't matter. Whether it's Indian Asia or Indian Native America. You're black, doesn't matter. You're Hispanic, it doesn't matter. That's America. That's the whole point of America. Because we have something in common. We're all American. Liberty, e pluribus unum, and of course in God we trust. God is the dirtiest word in the left-wing vocabulary. We don't need God. We're basically good. What do we need God for? We do need God. First of all, as was just said beautifully, we need God because if our rights don't come from God, they come from man. But if they come from man, they can be taken away by man. That's the whole danger of it. We're only holy. Human life is sacred only if there is a God. That is the whole point of it. Forget theology. This is logic. This is not theologic. This is logic. As I explained when I explained the 10 Commandments in my Bible commentary. In fact, I opened up the forward to my commentary with this. When I was in my early 20s and late teens, I had troubles with my parents. Shocking, right? Here's the key. I always treated my parents with respect. My father would have been 46, so he had another 50 years. Sorry, 96. I did not miss a week calling my parents till they died. The reason I did was not because I was always dying to talk to them. It wasn't because I was even always felt loving toward them. I did it because I believed God, the creator of the universe, said to me, honor your father and mother. And with the death of religion in America, there is also a death of honoring parents. There is a crisis in America no one talks about. The staggering number of adult children who do not speak to a mother or father. There is no doubt in my mind, I've done this in so many audiences, I don't have to do it now. There is no audience, Jew, Christian, or mixed, that I have ever spoken to that at least a third did not raise their hand when I said, do you know a family in which an adult child does not speak to a parent? Those are the people raising their hands. Not everybody knows in the family, because a lot of people are embarrassed by the fact that their child doesn't speak to them. They don't tell anybody. It's true in my extended family, not thank God in my immediate family. I've raised my hand. And you know why? One of the biggest reasons is they don't believe God said, honor your father and mother, even if you don't like them. It doesn't come with an asterisk if you really like them, or if they're really easy. Are there examples where you can't do it? Yes. If your father is Adolf Eichmann, the asterisk applies. The left is removing the American Trinity at a terrible, terrible price here. The amount of lies pervading our society, because truth is not a left-wing value. There are conservatives who lie, there are liberals who lie, there are Christians who lie, and Jews who lie. But they all hold that truth is a value. Leftism, since Lenin to today, has never held that truth is a value. And the biggest lie, such a big lie, that I, as a Jew and as an author of a book on anti-Semitism, let me tell you about the biggest lie known, at least in Jewish life. It's called the bloodline. And it was in medieval Europe. There was a libel. Jews were mass murdered for this. It wasn't just a libel. There were consequences. That Jews took Christian children, slaughtered them, and used their blood to bake matzah for Passover. And it's beyond belief that, but all the Jews of England were kicked out because of that libel. I truly believe the second biggest libel in history is that America is a racist country. That is how serious that lie about this country. This is the least racist country on earth. I have asked white conservatives all the time. Okay, so all you white supremacists out there, let me ask you a question. 9 members of the Supreme Court, would you prefer 9 white, male, heterosexual leftists, or 9 black, female, lesbian conservatives? Hey, if you're white supremacist and you're homophobic and you're bigoted, you should have voted for the whites. But apparently, values matter more to you than color and everything else. Values, voters. That's exactly what it is. We've got the right values. We've got American values. There's another lie, and there's a huge Prager video on this given by, believe it or not, a journalist for CNN. The president never, ever, ever said there were good Nazis. It is a gigantic left-wing lie, and that's all it is. It is pure lie. He never said there were good Nazis. He said there were good people who were demonstrating to keep the statue of Robert E. Lee and other statues, Confederate statues, and there were good people who were against keeping the statue. First of all, it's obvious. He said it over and over. He clarified. Number two, how would a man who has a Jewish daughter, Jewish son-in-law, and Jewish grandchildren say there are good people who want to exterminate his family? All right? Even the left doesn't think he's that sick. Oh, I love people who want to murder my children. It's vile, this lie. It is vile. But they lie with the ease with which you breathe. Lying is part of leftism, not liberalism, not conservatism. It is instrumental to leftism. And this lie is one of the biggest of my life, along with Russian collusion, that we bathe in lies. And here's another one. If he thinks there were good people on both sides, that means he thinks there were good Antifa. You think he thinks, I don't think there were good people in Antifa. We're all Nazis. There was a picture, we have it, a picture of an email within Google that says Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and PragerU are Nazis. Do you understand what the left has done to the word Nazi? They have raped the word Nazi of any meaning. Jordan Peterson is a moral giant. He is one of the most beautiful humans I have had the honor of ever interacting with. Ben Shapiro was an Orthodox Jew with relatives who died in the Holocaust. And I am a practicing Jew who has devoted my life to helping Jews from when I was sent to the Soviet Union by Israel when I was 21 to sneak Jewish religious items and sneak out Jewish names. And we're Nazis. Everything, because truth is not a left-wing value, you can call Jordan Peterson, PragerU, and Ben Shapiro Nazis. Because the only question is not, is it true? Is it effective? That's the question that the left asks. This is a crisis, my friends. This is a crisis. This is as big a crisis as we have had since the Civil War. Thank God it's not violent, but it is the Civil War. So, my old line with which I'll end is, you can only win if both sides fight. And until now, much of my life, one side was fighting. The other side, if every Christian in America voted, there would be no question as to who would win. I think I'm the biggest non-Christian defender of Christianity in America. Christian said, oh, wait, I don't have to vote. Well, what does God want you to do on earth? You can understand that. And anyway, my favorite line in the Bible, my favorite. Those of you who love God must hate evil. I love that about God. My friends, help those of us like Tony Perkins and me and so many other wonderful people. Help us fight. Three types of good people. Those who do nothing, those who fight, and those who help fight. Those who do nothing is the biggest group of good people, unfortunately. But I want you to know something. Those who help the fighters are just as important. Experiment in goodness called America. We've got to fight for it. Thanks very much.
Every time I hear Dennis, the only time he disappoints me is when he's finished. I want him to go on. It reminds me of a great quote from Teddy Roosevelt, who once said, if you want to make a conservative angry, lie to him. If you want to make a liberal angry, tell him the truth.